And communication expert for agricultural market, Isoko, has advised government to move away from rain-fed agriculture or risk food shortage.
They have warned of a possible increase in food prices in the next 90 to 100 days following the change in rainfall patterns.
A trend analysis for the first quarter indicates a constant increase in food prices, especially tubers and grains. Between February and March, prices of all commodities went up apart from tomatoes and local rice. A bag of cassava, for instance, grew from 87 cedis 25 pesos in February to 97 cedis in March. Experts project these prices could go up in the coming weeks.
You are looking at a period of between around 90 to 120 days for them to plant, germinate and all that. So even if we are going to experience any price decreases, then we are looking at after between 90 to 120 day period. And so for now we'll be relying on the stock that we had from the previous harvest, which were also not so good. And so we expect that for some of the commodities the prices will still keep on rising, as we can see.
Ghana is not self-sufficient in either of its two most important staples. The country has experienced average shortfalls in domestic maize supplies of 12%. Challenges in land management, soil fertility, bad agronomic practices and climate change have contributed to the dwindling fortunes of the agri sector. Experts have suggested that to ensure food security, Ghana must move away from rain-fed agriculture, but issues of costs have inhibited the actualization of these strategies.
When we talk about irrigation, most often we look at having maybe the very expensive ones where you need motors and those things to be able to pump the water and all these things to the farm. But we can start by using the water bodies just around our farms and then make use of it, which will reduce the cost. We should start thinking of new ways to make sure that we have food all year round.
UN Sustainable Development Goal 2 seeks to end hunger, achieve food security and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture by 2030.
Trade and Industry Minister Dr. Ekos Gabra has blamed the public sector for the unnecessary delays in transacting business.
According to him, bureaucratic processes have become an impediment to the growth of the private sector. He was speaking at the 6th Ghana Entrepreneurs Awards in Accra.
High time for public sector workers to appreciate that their raison d'etre, the very existence that they have, in most cases, is to support and promote the private sector entrepreneurs and not to impede them by delaying the processing of their documents or by seeking various kinds of incentives and inducements before they support what entrepreneurs are doing.
The private sector in Ghana faces many challenges, although progress has been made to improve the operating environment.
I think that the government must wait off competition for the local entrepreneurs to strive. Most of these businesses that go into the foreign hands, when it's completed, we're talking about capital flight. Most of the money, the dollars that are here are all expatriated, but when these projects are given to the local contractors that he executed, the money remains in this country and other businesses are established.
We would like the government to create the enabling environment, to reduce the public sector borrowing so that there will be access to funds for private institutions.
Speaking at the 6th Ghana Entrepreneurs Awards, the Trade and Industry Minister Dr. Ekos Gabra promised that the public sector will facilitate private sector growth.
And the Ministry of Trade and Industry has written a paper to the Cabinet that we hope in the next few weeks will be read and agreed upon, and some interventions could be possible to lower the cost of capital. We cannot be expecting entrepreneurs to succeed if they have to borrow at 30, 40, 50 60% or more.
Foreign missions in Ghana, including the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, British High Commissioner, and the Chinese Ambassador to Ghana, promised to ensure continued support to Ghana's private sector. The award categories included Business Support Bank of the Year, Non-Bank of the Year, Radio Program of the Year, Building and Construction, Electrical Supplies, General Merchants, Health Services, Rubber and Plastics, Hospitality and Tourism, Lifestyle Entrepreneur of the Year, as well as the Young Entrepreneur Awards. The biggest award for the night went to Eric Sedi Kutoche, Group Chairman of the First Sky Construction Limited, as the Group CEO of the Year, while 2 awards went to Dr. Felix Anya, Executive Chairman of the Holy Trinity Group of Companies. He won the Entrepreneur Hall of Fame for Health Services as well as Business Support Health Services. The CEO of the Entrepreneur Foundation, Ghana, Sam Asugezi, said the event is a way to instill competitiveness in the private sector.
And the Executive Secretary of the Chamber for Petroleum Consumers, Duncan Amoah, says Ghanaians should expect price hikes in petroleum products between 5 and 10%.
The price of oil has risen to 2016 high, boosted by news of falling outputs and weakening dollar.
Brent has now risen nearly 20% in April, its largest one-month gain for the past 12 months. Brent crude futures were up $1.03 at $47.63 a barrel, hitting a 2016 high. Failure of the major producers to agree to limit oil production and the decline of U.S. stockpile by 1.1 million barrels in the past week have sustained the price gains. Less crude oil means higher prices. The Executive Secretary of the Chamber for Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, Duncan Amoah, says the hike in prices is likely to be sustained.
It could even go beyond the $60 mark by July. So if immediately we also do not take proactive measures locally, we will get to a point where, like I indicated, fuel prices will be unaffordable to anything and anyone anymore. And if world market index goes up, government should owe it a duty to Ghanaians to ensure that there's some contingency arrangement to say, look, we are dropping some of the taxes.
The dollar has weakened by 5% in the first quarter of the year. All futures are priced in dollars. A weaker dollar encourages non-US investors to buy, which sends prices up.
Our exports will be able to fetch us a little more once world prices, go up. But the local market would suffer. And by saying this, I am also imploring on Parliament to effectively work out a ceiling of taxes on petroleum so that when the consumer should benefit some reduction at the pumps, then we introduce taxes. When it's time to reduce prices, we come back with excuses of owing BDCs, owing all other service providers.
Duncan Amoah says Ghanaians should expect price hikes in petroleum products between 5 and 10%.
And now, the management of Textile Ghana Limited has supported the Ghana National Blood Service with 200 pints of blood.
The move was to help save more lives.
Patronage for the blood donation exercise organized by Textile Ghana Limited was impressive. The Kolebu Blood Bank and other major blood centers needs a daily minimum supply of 400 pints of blood. Health experts say the current stock of blood at these facilities needs to be improved. The managing director of the company, Kofi Boateng, said the exercise formed part of the company's corporate social responsibility to help in addressing health challenges in the country.
Last year, the blood donation, we made blood donation, not the formal type, but up to about 73 people's lives were saved through this voluntary blood donation. So we realized that there's a kind of enthusiasm surrounding blood donation in this company. So why don't you formalize it? So that's how I can form this club, Club 25.
The donor services manager of the National Blood Bank, Michael Suti, lauded the company for their initiative and called for more engagements to improve the current blood stock. A new blood donor group was inaugurated to add to the existing pool of blood donor recruitment agencies in the country.